YouTube, Korey Hicks here, and today we're going to be talking about improvising in a key. I'm going to show you some of my favorite techniques for getting around the fretboard. Maybe you know your scales, but you're still struggling trying to make the guitar speak or moving around. You get lost in various positions. So we're going to talk about that today, and I'm going to give you some strategies to navigating the fingerboards that you don't get lost. Let's get right to it. So the first thing we need to do is get on the same page as far as the scales are concerned. So this song is in the key of G major, and the chords are G to D to A minor, and the second time it's G, D to C major. Okay? Now, when you're playing any of these chords, you don't have to play the G here or here. You can play it anywhere you like, right? Alright, so knowing where those chords are is a good start. But let's get on the same page as far as the scales are concerned. We'll start off with the first pattern of G major. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. So that's a G major scale from the 3rd to the 7th fret. Starting on the 2nd scale degree, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C. Starting on the 3rd scale degree, B, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D. Starting on C, which is the 4th scale degree, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E. Starting on the 5th scale degree, D, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. Starting on the 6th scale degree of G, which is E, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. And finally the 7th pattern, which I could play in 2 spots, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A would be the whole thing. Okay, and so I always have my students be able to play all these positions. Well, the first thing you should ask yourself is, if I cannot play these scales in position and I'm getting lost, that's probably why. I should know the scales well enough that I can play through them all, without much thought. Okay? And so that's the first step. When I'm kind of going through a student's limitations, trying to find their deficiencies, where they have gaps in their learning, this is one of the first places I start. They're like, hey, I can't solo over this particular song. What's going on? I'll just start off with that. Do you know your alphabet? Can you play throughout the entire neck? Can you do it in a linear fashion? Be able to play across the neck is very helpful, right? Okay? And so being able to play over a song like this, which is just 3 chords in the key of G, there's no chords that are outside of the key either. One of the things we have to do is just be really familiar with those scales. Now also, one thing I see students doing is they'll always start from the bottom. Don't do that. Maybe start from the top. Like here I'm playing thirds. Do things that are outside of your normal comfort zone. Maybe I just want to take the top 2 strings and go up the neck that way, okay? So what are some things that I'm playing over this backing track? Well, I started off with a first inversion G major scale, or G major triad rather, okay? And so that's based, maybe your cage shaped. Okay, so this is in pattern 3 of G major, and I went, okay? And so I am in pattern 3, playing a G major triad. I'm sliding it up 2 frets. Now I'm not thinking of frets at all. I'm just thinking G major, and I'm sliding up to the notes A and E. Okay, that A is the 9th of G, and the E is the 6th of G. Hammering that on. That's a mi, re, do. So I'm going down 3, 2, 1 in that scale. Okay, now I'm inside of pattern 2. So this phrase helped me to get into pattern 2. Now at that point, the chord progression is going to switch to the A minor. So I'm going to outline that. Okay, because that's kind of like an A minor chord there. And then I release that half step bend into the major third of G. Do, re, mi. Okay, so I'm into the major third of G there. So okay, and then, you know, as I'm playing up the scale there, I might go into, you know, the G here or the G here, or go into pattern 6, which is way up here. Okay, it's also important to know where you have common licks. So, for example, if I have 5, 6, 1 into third, 5, 6, 1 into my third. Okay, that means that I have a jumping off point for that lick. Or so this is why note recognition is so important when you're learning the guitar. I need to know where all of my G's are, right? I need to know where all my B's are. I need to know where all my D's are. Okay? Just realize that when we're putting this whole scale together, you know, as you see on the screen there, every G note is part of the G major scale. Every A, B, C, D, E, and F sharp is part of the scale. So it doesn't matter where I play it, it's in the scale. Remember, guitarists, a scale is not a fingering. There's 2 different things, okay? So, you know, this is a really important thing. So I'm playing a little, you know, up and down our G major scale here, okay? And then I'll usually ask the student, okay, so how many scales did I just play? They'll be like 3. No, I didn't. I played 1 scale in 3 places, okay? And so what I really recommend you do if you want to get used to improvising over a backing track and not getting lost is you start putting together elements that you can find. First of all, be able to play the scale throughout the neck, right? So I should be able to not only like harmonize throughout the strings, like I'm just doing. I just did the G string and the D string there, just the center. What are the center 2 notes all the way up, right? And so you practice that type of thing. What was that? Well, if you think of your bar chords, so if I'm playing, I'm playing the insides of those bar chords, right? That little lick there. All I'm doing is taking a G major triad and then bending up the leading tone back to D, or G, excuse me, and then playing a D triad. Okay? And so it's always elements you put together. So you can take your scales in the key of G, you can take your triads in the key of G. Right? So it's G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp. Right? Taking all my triads that are in that key and putting them together. What about the arpeggios that are in that key? There's a G major 7 arpeggio, an A minor 7, a B minor 7, a C major 7, a D dominant 7, an E minor 7, F sharp minor 7 flat 5 is in there as well. You know, I could do the pentatonics. You know, E minor pentatonic is in there, right? I have an A minor pentatonic I could play in there. I have a B minor pentatonic, right? So you can take all these different elements that are in there and start using them. And then when you're improvising, you just change your focus. I'm going to go down a triad, and then I'm going to go up a pentatonic, into a double stop, down a scale, right? And so change your focus. Maybe do different intervals, right? thirds to sixths. So if your soloing is getting boring, what you need to work on is just varying your approach, right? Go different types of ups and downs. Like try to create a line that works really well, and it's not just the very next note in the scale. It's just like, you know, the alphabet, right? If you wanted to write a sentence, there's no word that's A, B, C, D, F, G, A, B. You know, like, you know, there's no word that's spelled that way. I have to go G, B, D, maybe another G, and then I need to go down to an A or something like that. So when you're improvising, try to start working on these things. One of the tactics that I give my students to practice when they're working on their scales and they're at this element, you know, where they're trying to improvise over a song that's maybe in one key, I usually have them do what I call musical hot potato, or it's just like the continuous eighth note exercise. And basically what this is I have them play a continuous string of eighth notes, but you cannot stay in the same position for very long. What I'm doing is I'm just moving around, and I'm not staying in any position for very long. I'm moving. And I usually have students do this. So, yeah, you can do it over a backing track, or you can just do it over a drone, right? So if I have a G major pad. And the idea is to kind of pay attention as you're playing through it to where you're getting caught up or you get lost. That's the point where you practice, and then you try to come up with a solution. So for example, if I'm here, and that's a B minor 7 arpeggio, and I know there's an E minor 7 arpeggio in the key, but I want to get into this location, I can just, right? Or maybe I'm doing something where I like a lick here, maybe, but I want to do it over here so I can get down there. We'll go find it over there, and then maybe, try harmonizing different things in double stops. Right? So what I'm doing is I'm playing two notes at the same time. Okay? So just a lot of different ideas there to kind of work through. It has less to do with like technique and more to do about like pre-thinking, right? So you're thinking about where you want to go. You kind of need to know what things sound like before you put them there. You don't want to be a reactionary improviser where you are, I hope this sounds good. You need to know it sounds good because you've already prepared it in your practice room. So, all right, if this content is helpful for you, check out the description below. You can go over to my Patreon. I have PDFs. I have music theory books that I've written. I have, you can contact me for lessons. You can get all sorts of Patreon exclusive content over there, including licks of the day, transcriptions of solos, all sorts of good stuff. And I would really appreciate it if this helped you out. Just hit the like and subscribe button. Maybe tell a fellow guitar player that you learned something new today. So again, I'm Korey Hicks, and thank you for joining me today. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.